Again, you can have those 2 little weights if you want. If not, no weights necessary. We're still going to be getting quite a workout with or without those weights. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Okay, like I said, there's still supposed to be a handful of people, like about half the class is still missing, but it's okay. We're gonna get started just because we only have an hour together. So I wanna make sure you guys get your full hour's worth of fun. So we're gonna start in a comfortable seated position today. Nice, easy seated pose. Letting the spine be long, the heart open. Focusing in on the breath, on the inhales and the exhales. Maybe placing a hand on the heart, one on the belly, or even both hands on the heart if that feels better for today's practice. Noticing that breath, connecting with that breath. And then you can keep those hands on the body or you can let them come to prayer. We're going to go ahead and set an intention for this morning's class. Maybe it's something you're specifically working on, or maybe you need a little inspiration. So today we're going to be focusing on kindness. How kindness is the greatest expression of beauty. So holding that kindness nice and close. Being kind to your body, being kind with your thoughts, being kind with others. And releasing that intention, whatever way feels most natural. We're going to reach those hands up overhead. Exhale, right hand is coming down as that left arm comes up and over, keeping that left sit bone down. If you want to go ahead and start your music, you can go ahead and start it. Inhale, bringing everything back up to center. Exhale, left hand is coming down as that right arm reaches up and over. Left sit bone down. Inhale it back up to center one more time, each side. Left arm reaching up and over. Bring it back up, left hand down, right arm up and over. Reach both of those arms up high. Exhale on over those legs, folding on in. Finding that curve in the spine, rounding that back. Hands slightly on over towards the right to frame that right knee. And then let those hands come to center. Walk them on over towards the left, framing that left knee. Coming back to center. Inhale, rise it up. We're coming into a boat pose. So letting those legs lift, creating that 90-degree angle with those legs. Those arms might be next to those legs. They might be behind. They can even be down on the ground behind you. See what works best. Breathe for me. We're going to do a lot of core and arms today. Just heads up. Breathe. Exhale those legs long. See if you can bring that torso a little closer in towards the legs. Breathe. For 3. For 2. Last one, opposite leg is coming in front. We're finding that easy seated pose once more. So letting that spine be nice and long, the heart open, making that space for that heart. And this time, we're gonna let the hands come up overhead. Exhale them down right in front of you. Open them out to the side and then close it in. As you close in, I want you to find that roundness of the back. So it's gonna be a bit of a cat back. Open it out kind of like that cow. So we're moving in this cat-cow kind of a flow while being seated. If the arms being out is not comfortable, you can let those hands come to the knees and still find that curvature of the spine. Or if you even want, you can let those hands come to the heart, open it out to the heart and open it out. Finding the version that suits you best, but finding this movement of closing and opening, connecting with that breath. Feeling as that heart opens every time you shine forward. All right. After you've evened yourself out, let those hands come to the knees. We're gonna find big circles going one way and then the other way. They're kind of like little moon circles. So kind of like how we were with that forward and back, except we're finding those side to side. So starting with the back, curving that spine, let yourself move over to the right. So all that weight is kind of in that right sit bone here. Move it towards the front, shining that heart forward to the left and back. Big old circle. Now moving at your breath pace, creating this big circle one way. And then when ready, reversing that circle. Very good. Last few breaths. All righty, even out. Find that stillness, spine is nice and long, easy seated pose once more. Let's lift up those legs. This time we're gonna let that back come down. So letting the shoulders come down towards the mat. Legs are still bent, that 90-degree angle, that boat. We're gonna let the hands come behind the head. So interlace those fingers nice and light. Those shoulders might even lift. Right elbow is going to find that left knee, right leg is extending on out. So a bit of a twist here. And then come back to center. Left elbow, right knee, extending that left leg out. Come back to center. Moving at your breath pace as you bicycle from side to side. Now you can keep bicycling side to side. If you want a little bit more, you can find that knee and elbow, disconnect it, reaching that arm on the outer part of the leg. If you want even a little bit more, maybe you lift up that torso a little bit more higher, little pulse, and then bring it back. Twist, extend, lift. Switch sides. If you even want to change it a little bit more, you might even extend that leg up towards the ceiling before finding that pulse and then bending that knee, switching sides. Extend, lift, pulse, bend back. So see what version works best for you. Or it might just be a little mix of a little bit of everything. You might take some things out, whatever feels best for the body. But I want you to breathe, continuing side to side. You might even switch your mind or change your mind, should I say,
and decide maybe it's not working for you and just moving side to side is the best option for you today. And that's okay. I want you to keep breathing. Just like kindness, it isn't always easy, right? Being kind, being loving with others, especially if we feel as if they don't deserve it or if they disagree. But we still find that kindness in these hard spaces, in these tough moments, to try and open our heart, to try and find love, to try and find a connection. We're here for 4, for 3, for 2, last 1. All righty, coming down on the back, hugging those knees, breathe. Let's find that movement along the spine, forward and back. We're making our way into our tabletop pose. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, letting that spine be nice and long. Breathe for me. Let that heart shine forward, tailbone going up towards the sky. This is going to feel really nice after all that core work we just did. And then push that ground away, curving the spine. Moving at your breath pace in your cat-cow flow. So lots of different cat-cows today. Warming up the spine in different shapes, different movements. Even yourself out. Coming back to that neutral tabletop. Let's let those forearms come down onto the mat. So those knees are still down, those forearms are down, palms are nice and open, nice and strong. Breathe. Let's tuck those toes under, and we're lifting everything up. So pushing that ground away, straightening up those arms, straightening up those legs into our high plank. Breathe. Exhale, bring everything back down. So those forearms and knees come down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. 3 more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. I want you to extend those legs now. You're on the tops of the feet, letting that belly shine or that heart shine in the Sphinx pose. Palms of the hands are grounded. Elbows are nice and long, or those arms are nice and forward, nice and parallel, nice and long. Pushing that ground away, getting that little back bend. And you're going to push that whole forearm into the ground, pushing into the tops of the feet. So push and lift, bringing that torso on up, engaging that belly. Exhale, coming back down into that Sphinx. Push into that ground, lifting that belly. Let yourself come back down. We're going to find 3 more. If you want a little bit more fire, you can push into the ground, and then maybe that right knee moves towards that right arm. Extend it back, and then come back down onto the belly. 2 more. Push it up. Left knee, left arm. Back. All the way down. Last time, we're pushing into that ground, lifting up. We're here for 4, for 3, for 2. Tucking those toes under. Forearm plank. Coming into the hands, high plank. Hips are moving up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet, find some movement here. First down dog of the morning, of the day, possibly. Taking this moment to connect with the breath, to have that love and kindness with the body, finding these movements, waking things up. All righty. Finding that stillness now. Let's bend those knees. Step, jump, hop, top of the mat. Come up halfway. Exhale on over those legs. Inhale all the way up to standing, reaching up high. Grab a hold of that left wrist, side bend to the right. Back to center, grab a hold of that right wrist, side bend to the left. Back to center, reach up high. Exhale, swan dive on over those legs. Inhale, coming up halfway.
Planting those hands, step, jump, hop it on back. If you have a chaturanga flow in your practice, go ahead and find it, or whatever flow you want. Settling in into our downward facing dog is where we will meet. Breathe. All right, leg rises. Bend that knee, stack those hips, right knee's moving up towards the sky, keeping those shoulders head on. Back into our three-legged dog we go. Right knee's finding that right arm. Lift it up. Knee to nose. And up. Knee to left arm. And up. One more time. Knee to right arm. Lift it up. Knee to nose. And up. Knee to left arm. And up. Letting that foot come in between those hands. Low runner's lunge. Finding that stability. Up on those fingertips. Left hand is planted down. Right arm is reaching on up. Exhale, right hand is coming down, framing that foot, stepping that right foot back to meet the left. You might keep it hovering this time as you move through your chaturanga flow. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Strengthen that right leg, left leg lifts. Bend that knee, stack those hips, left knee's moving up towards the sky, keeping those shoulders head on. Back into our three-legged dog we go. Left knee, left arm. Lift it up. Knee to nose. And up. Knee to right arm. And up. One more set. Knee to left arm. And up. Knee to nose. And up. Knee to right arm. Lift it up. Letting that foot come in between those hands. Low runner's lunge. Finding that stability, settling on in here. Breathe. Right hand plants down, left arm peeling on open. Exhale, left hand is coming on down, framing that foot. Stepping that left foot back to meet the right. Keep it hovering, go through your flow. Meeting in our downward facing dog. Bend those knees. Step, jump, hop, top of the mat. Come up halfway. Exhale on over those legs. This time that left hand stays planted down. Bend that left knee. Right leg kind of straightens. Right arm peeling on open. Let's switch it out. Bending that right knee. Left leg kind of straightens. Right hand on the mat. Left arm peeling open. Exhale, left hand is coming on down. Relax on over those legs. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, relax. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Reaching up high. Grab a hold of that left wrist, side bend to the right. If you want, this time that left foot stays grounded, right toes peeking up. Back to center we go. Grab a hold of that right wrist, side bend to the left. Strengthen that right foot, left toes lift. Coming back to center, reach up high. Exhale on over those legs. Inhale, coming up halfway. Plant those hands, step, jump, hop it on back. Find your flow, meeting in our downward facing dog. Coming back to the breath, back to that intention of loving kindness. Are we being loving and kind with ourselves? Are we honoring our body and where it stands today? Might not want as much intensity, or maybe it's really needing this fire. Breathe. Exhale forward into your high plank. Coming down onto those forearms, forearm plank. We're walking those feet in.
Letting the hips go up nice and high, dolphin pose. Push that ground away, really engage those shoulders. So you can stay here in this dolphin pose and then walk it back out into that forearm plank. That's option one. Option two, you stay in this dolphin and then you push those hands into the mat. I have to do one at a time, not to two at a time, but maybe you're able to lift both of those forearms at the same time and go into this downward facing dog and then push those arms back down, or guide them, I should say, back into that dolphin. Finding that variation of lifting up and coming down. And again, it's okay if it's one arm at a time. Feeling the shoulders fire up. We're here for 3, for 2. Woo. Last one. Back into that dolphin pose. Let those knees come down. Hips will go back. Quick child's pose. Rolling out those wrists, those arms. Hands might come to prayer, bending those elbows. Thumbs going towards the nape of the neck. Or if it feels better to let those arms reach for the back, for those heels, and let that forehead rest upon the mat, please do so. But finding that version of child's pose that works best for you to collect your breath, to come back to your intention. Alrighty, we're back in that child's pose with those hands forward. I want you to kind of lift that torso up a little bit. Left hand stays planted. Right arm becoming nice and light. Let it thread underneath that left arm. It's gonna feel really nice. Breathe. Let's come back to center. Left arm underneath that right. Breathe. Let's come back to center. Rolling on up into that tabletop. Tucking those toes under, lifting those shins. So options of staying here. If this bear is a little too much for you, you can let the knees come down and then find your flow of lifting and coming back down. If you want a little bit more, and even with those knees down, you can still do the following. You can let that right hand come forward, up on those fingertips, come back to center, to the right, center, to the back, and center. And then you find that with the other side, so I'll show this with the knees up, keeping that back nice and even, center, side, center, back, center. We're all letting those knees come down toward the earth. We're gonna do another round. So if you really like those hands going up and around, kind of creating those little half moons, feel free to continue doing that. If you want something a little different, we're gonna let those knees come up and we're gonna hop forward into a kind of yogi squat. Those heels can stay up. Hands are still pushing just like where they were. Come back into that floating tabletop. Hop it forward. Hop it back. Hop it forward. Again, you can stay hovering this entire time if you want. Hop it back. Hop it forward. Hop it back. Breathe. Alrighty, let those knees touch down. We're gonna do one more set of these bears. We're gonna move our bear this time. Nice and strong, right? Keep your breath, keep that belly engaged, keep those arms nice and strong. Toes are tucked under, lift those knees. So maybe you move that right hand back, right leg moves back, left foot back, left hand back, finding movement, forward and back, the length of your mat, or maybe you come off the mat, but I want you to move slowly. And you're staying nice and low, keeping that spine leveled, not peaking. Woo, feeling the burn. All right. Last travel up to where we started. Feel like we're like in a super detective movie right now. Let those knees come down. Untuck those toes. Hips are going back. Quick child's pose once more. Coming back to the breath. Inhales and exhales. All righty. Rolling back forward into that tabletop. Tuck those toes under. Hips are going up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. If you need to pedal out those feet again, please pedal them out. All right, let's find that stillness if you were pedaling. Toes are touching. Strengthen that left leg. Right leg lifts. Bend that knee, stack those hips. If you feel ready to flip on over, letting those right toes touch. Right arm lifts. Opening up that heart, opening up that chest. Coming back around into your three-legged dog. Let's let that foot come in between those hands. Low runner's lunge. If you have the weights and are wanting to use them, I want you to grab a weight with the right hand. So you're grabbing that weight with that right hand. Left hand is nice and planted. Let's lift that weight to the shoulder and all the way up. All right, strengthen that left arm. It's nice and strong, nice and sturdy. That right foot becomes nice and light. Let it go back. Finding that side plank, keeping that weight in that right hand. Breathe. Hips are moving up towards the sky. Options. So you can keep that left shoulder stable and dip the left hip down, lift it up. Dip it down, lift it up. Or if you want, right hand can thread underneath that left, and then you open it up. Thread and open. We're nice and strong, nice and sturdy. If that left knee needs to come down, let it come down. Those hips are still moving up towards the sky. Breathe. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lift, breathe. Strengthen that left leg still. Right foot becoming nice and light. It's coming back forward, back into that twist. Bring that weight in that right hand to the shoulder and down. We're facing forward in this low runner's lunge. If you have that other weight, I want you to bring it to that left hand. Grabbing onto those weights with both hands. Breathe. Bring the weights to the shoulders. Lift that torso on up. So we're in this crescent lunge. Keeping those weights on the shoulders. Lift it on up. So if you don't have those weights, I want you to let those hands become little fists. So you have those fists reaching up. Breathe. All right, bring those weights to the heart. Those shoulders, those elbows are out. Bring that torso forward so it's a lightning bolt here. All that strength in that right leg. Open up those arms. So nice big W or U, I guess it would be. Breathe. So 2 options. You can close and open. Close and open. Or if you want, you can kind of create these little butterflies. So bringing those shoulders together, really creating that little crease behind the back, and then push it forward. Bring it back, push it forward. Bring it back, push it forward. We're finding 4 more of whatever it is that we're finding. 2, 1. Breathe. Whatever position you're in, whether you're squeezing those shoulders or whether you're out to the side, breathe. For 3, for 2. Let the weights come to the heart. Plant those weights on down, framing that foot, stepping that right foot back to meet the left high plank. You might keep that leg hovering, going through your flow. We're meeting in our downward facing dog. Breathe. Keeping in mind, child's pose is always accessible at any point in time. Connecting with that breath. Feeling that love and kindness in the body. Being kind to the body here. Letting it rest. Letting it come back to center, come back to neutral. Come back to that intention. Alrighty. Toes are touching, downward facing dog if you aren't already there. Left leg lifts. Bend that knee, stack those hips. If you want to flip that dog on over, those left toes are touching on down. You're opening up that heart, opening up that chest. Coming back around, back into your three-legged dog. Reaching up high. Foot is coming in between those hands, low runner's lunge. Find that stability. Grabbing onto the weights or to the weight with the left hand. Right hand stays planted. Oh, and if that bottom or that back leg needs to come down, let it come down, okay? Each side's a little different. All right, grabbing a hold of that weight with that left hand. Bring it to the shoulder, all the way up. Breathe. Strengthen that right hand. It's nice and strong, nice and sturdy. It's your base, it's your foundation. That left foot is becoming nice and light. Let it go back, finding that side plank. On this opposite side, breathe. Pushing those hips up towards the sky. That right knee needs to come down, let it come down. Option of bringing that weight down. Oh, no, we're not bringing that weight down. Bring it back up. You're like, what in the world? You're adding more stuff. So option of dropping that right hip down and lifting, keeping that left weight up in the hand. Or option of letting that twist happen. So left arm going underneath the right. Open it up. Thread it. And open. Again, you could change your mind at any point in time. If that right knee needs to come down, let it come down. Hips are pushing up towards the sky. Breathe for me. We're here for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Breathe. All right, strength in that bottom leg. Top leg lifts, coming back forward into that twisted lunge. Exhale that weight to the shoulder and down. Framing that foot, low runner's lunge. Grabbing a hold of the weight with both of those hands, so a weight in each hand. Lift it up to the heart, lifting up that torso, tilt up. Breathe. Pushing that right heel towards the back of the room. Let those weights come up towards the sky. Breathe. Letting that heart open. Taking strength, taking courage for these poses. For love and kindness. Knowing how strong, how courageous we are. Let those hands come down to heart center so those elbows are facing out. Tilting that weight forward. So kind of relaxing almost, but you're not really. Over that left leg, nice and strong, nice and sturdy. Let those arms open out. Goal post. So again, options on this side. You can close and open, close and open, or you can find those W's, pushing back, reaching forward, back and forward. No matter where you are, we're working on this back, we're working on that chest. Since the back of the heart is just as important as the front of the heart, keeping that stability, that strength with that left leg. For 4, for 3, we're almost there, 2, 1. Staying wherever you're at, whether you're squeezing those shoulder blades or those arms are out to the side, breathe for me. For 3, for 2, 1. Let those hands come to heart center. Weights are coming down, framing that foot. Left foot is tipping back to meet the right, high plank. I want you to breathe here. If the knees need to come down, let them come down. Breathe. Spine is nice and long. Shift forward. So whether you're on the knees or you're on the toes, you're shifting that weight forward. Shift it back. Shift it forward. Shift it back. Forward and back. Forward and back. If the knees are not down, let them come down. Hips are going back, child's pose. Coming back to the breath, back to our intention. Focusing on those inhales and exhales.
Maybe even getting some water or wiping off the sweat. Taking this little moment for self-care, for that love, for that self-love. A few more breaths of embracing whatever love looks like for us right now. Alrighty, friends, let's make our way back into our downward facing dog. We got this. So a little bit more arms before we make our way up and start kind of stretching everything else out. We're going to exhale forward. Tap that right knee down. Lift it up. Left knee. And lift. Right knee. And lift. Left knee. And lift. If you want a little bit more, you can find that chaturanga. Right knee. And lift. Left knee. And lift. Right knee. Woo, and lift. Left knee. And lift. Woo. Let's push back up. Back into our downward facing dog. Breathe for me. Oh, bend those knees. Step, jump, hop, top of the mat. Come up halfway. Exhale on over those legs. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reaching up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. We're finding that strength in that left leg. Right leg becomes nice and light. So grounding with that left leg. Right leg lifts. Finding that pillar pose. Left hand on the outer part of that right leg, right hand reaching out. Side hug here. Breathe. All right, find a bend in that left knee. And as you exhale, that left hand is coming down towards the ground as that right leg pushes on back. And we find our half moon. So those hips are stacking upon each other. That heart is open. That right foot is pushed in towards the back of the room. If you want a little bit more, you can grab the weight with the left hand and bring that weight to the heart and back down to the heart and down to the heart and down. Release that weight if you took it. Let's let that right foot go on over towards the right side of the room. We're going to find some circles. So if that right hand needs to stay up, let it stay up. Otherwise, I want you to bring it to the hip. Find circles. Going one way. Yep. And then going the opposite. Oh. All right. Bring it down. Lift it up. Down. And up. Down. And up. Down. Shift that weight so that weight is in both of those legs, coming up into our chair pose. Hands at heart center, up by the ears, whatever feels nice. Breathe. Coming up to standing, reaching up high. Wiggle out those legs. Strengthen that right leg. Left leg is nice and light. Let it lift. Right hand on the outer part of that left leg. Left arm reaching for the back. Big side hug. Breathe. Alrighty, bend in that right knee. Pushing that left leg back, right hand is making its way down. Taking your time to find that half moon, stacking those hips, flexing that left foot, heart is open, spine is long. Option of grabbing that weight with that right hand, lifting it to the heart, and down, to the heart, and down, to the heart, and down. Last time to the heart and down. Breathe. Left hand coming to that left hip unless you want to keep it up. Letting that left foot reach out towards the left side. Find those circles. One way And then the opposite. Ooh, this side's a little tighter than the other side. I'm feeling it. All right, close and open, close and open, close and open. Last time, close. Shift that weight into both of those legs. Let the hands come to heart center as we find our chair. Breathe. All right, left elbow is going to find that right knee. I want you to twist. Woo. Arms are going to open out, or they can stay closed. If you're still wanting some more fire and you have side crow in your practice, let those hands come down and find that side crow. Or even if you want a little break in the legs, you can let those hands come down, those hips go down, settle into this twist. Breathe for me. Once you're done playing, lifting those hips back up into that chair twist. Strengthen that left leg. The right foot becomes nice and light. Lift that heel. Let that leg shoot on back. Opening up, warrior two, sealing that left foot on down. Breathe. Flipping that right hand, or let's flip that right hand up towards the sky. Exhale that warrior. Breathe. Next breath, right arm onto that right leg, left arm reaching up and over. Side angle. Let's reach that left arm up towards the sky. Straighten that right leg. Right hand might fall down into your triangle. If it feels better to come up and then down, please do so. You're settling in. If you still want that strength in those arms, you can grab a weight with that left hand, lift it up and find little pulses, working on that left side body. Again, only if you want, not necessary. Otherwise, we're cooling down here. Letting that left hand come down. If it had that weight, release it. Hands are coming to heart center. Bend that left knee. Shift that weight on over towards that left leg. Right toes are coming on up as we find our Skandasana. Breathe. Let's go ahead and bring that bum on down. Left foot is tucking into that inner part of that right foot, turning that torso on over towards that right leg. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, fold it on down. Inhale, lift it back up. We're gonna let that left hand come down behind us or next to us, I should say. Right hand is coming down as well. Turning that torso on down. So we have that left knee down, right foot, we're on the ball of that foot. Extend that left leg back, hips are going up, downward facing dog. Bend those knees, step, jump, hop. Hands meeting the feet. Come up halfway. Exhale over those legs. Inhale up into our chair. Bring that bum down. Alrighty, this time that right elbow finds that left knee as we twist. Option of opening up those arms. Option of keeping them closed. Finding that side crow. Or just staying kind of in this little low squat twist. Breathe. Taking your time, whatever pose you're in. Nice full inhales and exhales. Once you're done playing, we're lifting back up into our twisted chair. Strengthen that left leg, nice and strong, nice and sturdy. Right heel lifts. Let it shoot on back. Finding this twist just for a breath. Opening up, warrior two, sealing that right foot on down. Soft gaze over those left fingers. Flipping that left palm up towards the sky. Let's exhale. Next breath, finding that side angle, left arm onto that left leg, right arm reaching up and over. Nice and long from those right fingers to those right toes. Maybe you straighten up that left leg, little bit of a micro bend, let those arms extend out. If you'd like that weight lift, you can grab that weight with that right hand, lift it up, find those little pulses. Otherwise, you're settling into that triangle. Letting that heart be open, that spine be long. Feeling as you made space for that love, for that compassion, for that light. If that weight is in that right hand, I want you to bring it on down. We're bending that left knee, walking those hands on over towards that right knee, bending that right knee, left toes are coming on up. Breathe. So we find our Skandasana on this opposite side. Let's come down onto the bum. Right foot is tucking inside of that left inner leg. Left toes are flexed, turning that torso towards that left leg. Reach those arms up high. Exhale on over that left leg. Inhale, lift it back up. Right hand is coming down next to you, behind you. Left hand is coming over. So you find this little twist. Roll on over, right knee's down. Left leg is nice and long. Just let that left knee come in to meet the right. So we're gonna have two different options. You might stay here and breathe. This is gonna feel really nice on the tops of the legs. Or if you're still wanting a little bit more strength, you're gonna have those hands pushed into the mat. Or even if you don't want strength, you get a stretch on the tops of the feet too here. But you're pushing that ground away, engaging the shoulders like that cat back, pushing that ground, lifting those knees so you can get that stretch on the tops of the feet. Again, this little cat back is what lets the knees come up to the heart. Exhale, bring it back down. We'll do that once more, pushing that ground away, curving the spine. Some of you might be able to swoop those feet on through. Some of you will come onto the balls of the feet and then swoop those feet on through. So legs are nice and long in front of you. That spine is nice and long. Reaching up high, let those arms reach up. Hinging from those hips as you fold on forward. Maybe you touch those toes, maybe you don't. That's okay. Breathe. Inhale, coming back up. Let's bend those knees. Soles of the feet are coming down onto the mat. Reach those arms out, nice and long. Tuck in that chin just a hair. Start making your way down onto your back, nice and slowly, nice and gently. We're reaching those arms up overhead. Once those shoulders touch. And then let those arms come down next to you. Palms of the hands are facing down. We're gonna push the feet into the mat so we can lift the hips. Those hands are going underneath the bum. Palms of the hands facing down. And then settle that bum onto the tops of the hands. Extend those legs out nice and long. We're getting ready to set up for our fish. So next inhale, we're gonna lift that heart. So it's almost like we have a string around the heart that lifts it on up. The back of the head is settling on down. You might even shimmy the shoulders a little underneath you. This will feel really nice after all that arm work we did. Keeping that heart open, that throat open. Because when we open the heart and we have that love and compassion, we also find our truth. Speaking our truth, whatever it may be. A few more breaths here. Alrighty. Lifting with that heart, still having that string around that heart to lift up so we can lift the head, coming back down. Bend those knees, seal the feet on down. Lift those hips so you can remove those hands. Let's bring those knees into the chest. Nice big hug. Might feel nice to find circles of the knees one way and then the opposite way. Or you might just stay here, kind of rocking a little side to side, hugging in those knees. Let's let those arms come out nice and long, goalpost arms or T. Find the stillness with the knees. Letting the knees fall on over towards the right. Gaze might fall to the left. If it feels nice to extend the legs nice and long, please do so. Or if you want to twist those legs, that left leg twisting on top of the right. Or they can just stay stacked upon each other. Breathe. Guiding that left shoulder towards the mat, feeling as it relaxes down, as it softens. Undoing any bind you did with the legs. Let the gaze come back to center. The knees will come back to center. Let them fall to the left. As the gaze falls to the right. Again, finding that favorite leg variation, whether they're extended out nice and long, right leg on top of the left, or just stacked upon each other. Guiding that right shoulder down towards the earth. Feeling the heaviness, the weight of the body as it finds ease, as it relaxes in. Undoing the legs and whatever variation you took. Letting the gaze come back to center, knees will come back to center. Let's grab the outside parts of the feet or the ankles, opening up those legs into our happy baby. Possibly finding some movement side to side, or you might interlace the big toes, extending one leg and then extending the other, or both at the same time, being a little playful here. Breathing into the hips. And then eventually releasing whatever variation you took, letting the knees come back to center. Last big hug here. You might even notice as the shoulders lift and you really let yourself create yourself into a little ball. Give yourself the biggest hug yet. And then relaxing down, finding any final movements your body's needing or craving in order to feel the practice complete. So maybe it's a plow, maybe it's a reclined butterfly. They could just be wiggles, or you're ready to get a head start into that final resting pose, into that Shavasana. Having that respect for your body wherever it is, whatever it's needing. And once you've gotten those final wiggles out, settling into that final resting pose, that Shavasana. Having this last small act of love happen here. Inviting the body to be heavy. Embracing the stillness. Be here just for a few more breaths. Beginning to invite gentle movements back into the body. Bringing awareness back to the breath. Welcoming those little wiggles in the fingers and the toes. And before we make our way to our side or bring the knees in, I want you to let the arms open out to the side, nice and wide. And then I want you to find the self hug. So one arm stacking on top of the other. Give yourself a nice big hug here. Feeling this hug, feeling this love, feeling this kindness you're having with yourself. Go ahead and release that hug. And then if you need to extend those arms up overhead and the toes nice and long before letting the knees come into the chest, do so, or let the knees come into the chest. Giving yourself yet another hug in a different way, in a different manner. Even though these hugs are different, they're still the same. They still have the same amount of love and kindness in them. Allow yourself to fall to the right or the left side, softly and gently. Taking a few moments here in these final moments together in this position of rebirth to come back to that intention that you said in the beginning of class, or coming back to that thought. Kindness is the greatest expression of beauty. Making your way up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed only if it feels comfortable. Allowing the hands to come to heart center. As we bow our head in gratitude for this day, for this breath, for this beautiful life that we're given. Finishing our practice with an intention that's quite old. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you know freedom. May you walk through the world with ease. Namaste.